Hey everybody, it's Mike. Just want to make sure my microphone is working, so it looks like everything's good to go. So I have a message for today, and it is, and I don't know if I've done this one before or not. I'm starting to forget stuff because I've done like 111 or 112 podcasts so far. It's crazy, you know. Never thought I'd do this many podcasts, but I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking, being able to communicate with you all this way and kind of share the faith, so to speak, with you all this way. And but today the message I heard, I don't know whether it was in the shower or I was coming upstairs to get ready to get in the shower or something, but it was just something it said faith over fear. And I'm like, huh, that's a pretty good topic, like because if you have faith, you don't really have fear, you know? And there's so many places in the Bible where it talks about, do not be afraid. I actually think that line I saw somewhere that they said in the Bible, it says, do not be afraid like 365 times. That exact line, do not be afraid. And there's just so many verses in there that have like, do not worry, do not fear, do not be afraid, So I wanted to just go to Google and look up a couple examples of Bible scriptures so I could share it with you guys here and kind of go over, which one said what and process them with you a little bit, while I talk about it. So um, the first ones that I came up with was first one was Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, where it says fear not, for I am with you. So fear not, God is with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So fear not, I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God, and I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So if he's saying, don't have fear, fear not. He's there. He's there to protect you. He's there to strengthen you and to give you the power that you need in the situation that you feel like is something that you're scared of or that you're not going to be able to get through on your own, you know, or you have anxiety about or you're worrying about, you know. All right, so John chapter 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. So don't let your hearts be troubled or let them be afraid because I'm giving you my peace. God's giving you his peace, you know. And if you believe in him, you will enjoy his peace. Let's see, 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So he's not given the spirit of fear because that comes from who? That comes from the enemy. That comes from the devil. Fear comes from the devil. And God gives you everything that you need to be able to fight fear, with power and love and a sound mind. You know, the devil's the one that makes your mind go crazy. He's the one with the little voice inside your ear chirping at you, You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. People don't like you. And he's the one telling you that, not God. You know, he's the one creating the paranoia in your life. Maybe through the use of drugs too, because drugs open up that gateway for the devil to be able to get into your head and create those um, illusions of grandeur and those paranoid thoughts that people are out to get you, or people are talking about you, or whatever. Like, you know, think about that. God doesn't give us those. He doesn't give us that. And then let's see, Luke chapter 12, verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So fear not, little flock, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. He wants to give you the kingdom. He wants to give you everything in the kingdom, all the abundance, all the wealth, everything. But you got to have faith. He's right there ready to hand stuff over to you. But you got to have faith, and you got to prove it to him through obedience and through character and through the way you live your life and through the way you decide to live your life. And let me just kind of take a minute here and go refer back to my book. And I used to refer to this book, and yeah, I'm reading it again because it's so good. But it's Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer. And I just started reading it again, and this time I'm going to mark it up. This time I'm going to put pens everywhere and mark it up, because I'm just like, I don't want to forget what I'm thinking when I read it. But he said that there was a quote by this guy that was talking about the most important, more important than ever, is the greatest issue facing the world today, with all of its heartbreaking needs, is whether those who are identified as Christians will become disciples, actual students, apprentices, and practitioners of Jesus Christ, steadily learning from him how to live the life of the kingdom of the heavens into every corner of human existence. That's pretty powerful there. And then the author takes it a step further and says, I could not agree more. The greatest issue facing the world today is not climate change or surveillance capitalism or human rights or the specter of nuclear war, as utterly crucial as all of those are. But can you imagine how many of those problems would effectively be solved overnight if the billions of living humans who identify as Christians all actually took the step to become apprentices of Jesus? If their driving aim was to approach every challenge as Jesus would. You see, so much of the world's problems could be solved if people would actually follow God, and they would actually take the steps necessary to pick up their cross and follow Jesus and do as he does and be with Jesus every day, and then become like him, because you're spending time with him. He's going to teach you how he is. You're going to see how he is. You're going to learn how he is. By reading your Bible, you're going to see how he is. And then eventually you're going to do as he did. And that's the whole premise for this book, Practicing the Way. It's the whole premise of the book. is to grow spiritually with Jesus. And that way you build your faith over time, and God will see this and he'll reward you. He'll reward you with peace and joy and a happiness. And the thing is, it's a peace and a joy and a happiness like you can't imagine. Like when you think of the most peaceful experience of your entire life, like what's the most at peace you've ever been? For me, I think I was in Jamaica or the Bahamas or somewhere, and I was out in the water and in the crystal clear blue water of that was like the perfect bathwater temperature, and I was literally floating on my back with my arms out wide, just laying back, put my head back, and just floating in the water with not a care in the world, and just letting the water, splash up on my face, and just enjoying the moment of being there with the world. That's kind of like the most peaceful moment for me. But imagine like being able to live in that state, that peaceful state for like the rest of your life. It's like the movie Office Space when he goes in to meet with the psychologist or whatever, and he just puts him in this relaxed, peaceful state where he just doesn't care about the big stuff anymore. He doesn't sweat the small stuff anymore. It's literally like when you get blessed by God, like, and you start walking with Jesus every day, like that movie is exactly how you feel, like Peter Gibbons, when he just doesn't give a F about his TPS reports or his 8 different bosses that come to him or what time he gets into work, because all of that is just meaningless. And you know, I'm not saying you can just not go into work when you want and do whatever you want, but I'm saying to be in that kind of a state and a mood and a relaxation for the rest of your life, that's kind of what it's like when you pick up your cross and you follow Jesus. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't hard times, you know, because you still have to interact with the world. And in the world, there's a lot of evil people out there. And, quite frankly, there's a lot of good people who do evil things because of being demonically, driven by evil spirits that are like attached to them, like entities. Um, and people don't always realize when they have spirits attached to them, um, keeping them in their pain and in their anxiety and in their worry and in their stress and in their just depression and their mentally health uh, issues, emotional problems, um, you know just not feeling like getting out of bed type stuff. Like sometimes it's not just because you feel the way you do, it's because you have a dark spirit that's attached itself to you. And I can tell you, from experience with myself, when you have God and you have Jesus and you have the Holy Spirit inside your heart and you pray to him every single day and you read scriptures and you just go about your life in that kind of way, you know, you're not going to feel like that because most of that negative energy is all derived as a byproduct of what we call fear, and fear, remember, is created by the enemy. He wants you afraid, you know he wants you afraid, so you don't take that next step and get, and be positive, take a positive advancement in your career or in your life or in your world. Like, the devil doesn't want anything good to happen to you. He just wants you living in sin. And, he'll do anything he can to keep you away from the goodness of God. And he hates me. I mean, he hates me like with a passion, because I get on here and I tell you all about how great God is and how you need him in your life and how you need to open yourselves up to him and open your hearts up to him. And I write a book about it and going to heaven or hell, trying to wake people up so they realize that, maybe they should pay more attention to the decisions that they make in their lives, and make more of a conscious effort on their part to do some better things and make some better choices with their lives and set better examples of themselves and have a better character about themselves, um, than they do. Um, it all, it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start, and it's just so important to have that relationship with God. So let me get back. Let me see. The last one I think I read was, "Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." So John, 1 John chapter 4, verse 18 says, "There is no fear in love." Remember, God is love, and there is no fear in love. And then this is the one everybody knows, is Psalm 23, verse 4. It says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." You know? Um, and then there was one other one that I found today on my Facebook Reels page that was actually, it just said verse 1, but it is Isaiah 43, and I said verse 1 through 3, because when I read it, I actually picked up a little bit more. So it says, "But now this is what the Lord says. He created you, Jacob. He formed you, Israel. Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior." And that is some pretty powerful stuff, because he's saying, even if you have to walk through fire, flames, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze, because he's going to protect you from that. protects you from everything. And sometimes people, don't see what's really going on in this world with the spiritual realm because, we can't see that realm. We can't see these spiritual entities. I mean, maybe there's people out there who can, but I know I can't see them. I can feel them sometimes. I can feel them sometimes. But, the more you walk with God, the more protected you are from these evil entities trying to get at you and trying to cling on to you and trying to disrupt your life. That there's spiritual warfare out there, and that's what it is. It's when your own personal guardian angels go to war for you and they protect you from the evil one. You know, you're the spiritual world is so much more powerful than the physical world that we live in. And I think that's the problem with people is that they don't pay attention to the spiritual world as much as they should. Um, you don't know these people that are out there. You don't know who people are. Um, you know, some people out there are the nicest people in the world. They're like walking, living, breathing earth angels, you know, with pure hearts that would never do anything to hurt anybody. And they're there, man, and they're protecting you, and you don't even know it, you know. Stuff's real, man. They're out there. And you gotta if you want the protection, which I don't know why anybody wouldn't want protection from evil, you gotta go to God, man. There's just so many reasons, to go to God and to worship him and to walk with Jesus and become an apprentice and a disciple for him. There's just so many reasons for it. You get to live in that peace world, that peaceful world with pure joy and bliss and relaxation like I was talking about, and just not having a care in the world, knowing that you're doing the right thing and that he's going to guide you in the right way. You're going to make the right decisions, and that no matter what gets thrown at you, what curveball gets thrown at you, you get a bill you weren't expecting to have to pay, whatever, like it always will work itself out. God provides, man. He provides for you. And you just got to believe in him. And that's what it really comes down to is the belief and the faith. The faith is really the key, because it's not just belief, it's knowing. It's just knowing that God's there. And so with that you get the peace, you get the joy, you get the happiness, you get the spiritual protection, versus the evil spirits that are out there. You get somebody who can completely change your life and bless you with abundance and things that you can't even dream of. If you're doing the right thing and you're walking with him, I mean, of course he wants to take care of you, and of course he's gonna reward you for your efforts of what you've done for him. You know, it'd be crazy to think he wouldn't. You know, now it's not instant. It's not like an instant thing. Like it's not like you give $5 to the guy washing your car, and the next thing you know, you hit a $50 scratch off. Like it doesn't work like that. Not normally it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? It's it's just about doing the right thing even when nobody's looking, and just being like Jesus would be, you know? Like it's not that hard. When you just sit down and whatever you're doing, you say, what would Jesus do in this situation? What would he say? What would he how would he react? What would his, patience level be? Would he go off and scream and yell and cuss and everything else? No. No, so why do that? You know? You gotta think. You gotta think. And that's what this process is about. It's about when you follow Jesus, he gets you to think about your actions before you do your actions. You know, you make calculated decisions in a positive way, not in a passive aggressive way, like a lot of people do. It's just being pure, being a clean spirit, and just being clean, allowing God to cleanse out all the like you go to the dentist and they like clean the plaque off your teeth. It's like, God cleans the plaque off your soul and your heart. Like the more you have him in there, the more he's purifying that that muscle in your body that you need. You need your heart. If you don't have a heart, you're dead. So that is an important muscle in your body that's vital to your survival. And you need to fill it with the right stuff, not, the alcohol and the marijuana and the porn and, you know, other stuff that's out there, other vices, the gambling, you know, all that. It's not, that's what gets plaque in there, you know? And the negative relationships, the toxic relationships that you have in your life. You need to evaluate your relationships, and sometimes you need to end relationships with people when they become too toxic for your needs. When it's not a positive relationship, then what's the point of it? You know? You need to spend your time around people who are like you and people who have the same values that you do and people who do the same things that you do and people who have the same visions as you do and have the same dreams as you do and have the same goals as you do and have the same character as you do and have the same values as you do, you know? And it hurts, man. Sometimes people get their feelings hurt when you get rid of them, but you know, you gotta do what's best for you, you know? And you always gotta be, doing a little bit better every day, you know? Just a little bit better. Your goal should be a little bit closer with God every day, you know? He will not steer you in the wrong direction. He will steer you in the right direction. Just a little bit every day. And that maybe it's reading the Bible. Maybe it's as simple as that. Maybe it's like going to a small group at your church. Maybe it's doing, maybe they have a special series, like my church is doing this series called Rooted, where, you learn to be like a disciple for Christ. And there's a little cost involved with it, but you know what? It's worth it. So it's like $60 or whatever. So, I mean, chalk it up as a donation to the church, but it's worth it. It's like 10-week program, but you're gonna meet people that have the same feelings and values and character that you do, and that's how you meet people if you really want to grow with Christ, you know Find people that are serious. Maybe you find a Bible study. Maybe it's, I would say, with your church, because they are going to be a little bit more organized than just finding some wild Bible study that, anybody can go to and, just do whatever they want to do. I think being with the church is a little more organized usually. Depends on the church though, because every church is different. Some churches are a little disorganized too. I've been there too. So, but so maybe it's reading the Bible, maybe it's going to Bible study, maybe it's meeting people at the church or at a group event, or maybe it's maybe it's just going to church. Maybe it's just going to church every week, you know, doing a little bit better every day. You get recharged with that. Maybe it's going to, maybe you had a drug or alcohol problem, or a pornography problem, or an anxiety or depression problem, or just a hurt or hang up type problem. And your church offers a Celebrate Recovery program. Celebrate Recovery is a great program. They have like a step program that they use. You work through your problems with the steps, and it helps transform you and become closer to Christ and become a better person. That's what the whole goal of the program is solve your problem by going to Christ. Because at the end of the day, He's the one that solves the problem. And at the end of the day, if you want to eliminate fear and you want to embrace the the love of God, the full love of God, and the peace and the joy that come with that, and the happiness, you just have to embrace Him. It's not that hard. You just embrace Him, and He will show you the way. He'll show you the way. That's how beautiful it is. He knows you want to change. He knows you want to do better. He will show you the way and exactly what you need to do. And you will eliminate fear from your life. And you will be able to walk around and not be scared of anything. Not be scared of anything. Not anyone, not any person, not any situation, not anything. Because you have God. When you have God, He's got your back, man. When He's got your back, nobody can do anything to you. Nobody. No matter what, because God said so. It's like that when you went to your dad, and your dad was like, "I said so." God said so. So, anyway, thanks for taking time to watch the video. Give me some likes, shares, comments, shares on YouTube and Facebook. Mike's Ministries. Come join the fun, and you know, I'll see you guys around at some point, and my book will be out soon, and I'll let everybody know about it. Thanks again for watching, and God bless every one of you.